Hey everybody, James Yeager, Tactical Response. Thanks for watching. Well, continue on with the Minuteman series, body armor. It's more important to not be shot than it is to shoot the bad guy, and so we need to think about body armor. Now, I'll be talking mostly about this Testudo from AR500armor.com. Matter of fact, all these products that I'll be talking about are from AR500armor.com. They were for our first channel sponsor, and Tyler and the crew out there are wonderful people. I mean, they're just nice people. So if you wanted to buy armor and wanted to buy it from them, they would appreciate it. I would appreciate it as being faithful channel sponsors and alumni of Tactical Response and shooters and all that stuff. So this thing is a carrier. Now, before you buy a carrier, you have to decide, kind of like if you've watched my video on backpacks, you need to decide what you want to carry and buy a backpack that fits that stuff. Because if you buy a big pack, you're going to fill it up. Nobody goes out on a hike with a half full backpack. And so same with armor. If you get a bunch of armor, you're going to put stuff all over it just because you can. Ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. So what's great about the Testudo is it is convertible from a full rig like this to just a plate carrier. You can take this cummerbund off. I'll go ahead and do that now. You can take the cummerbund off and then run this thing just as a plate carrier with these things on. Now, if you decide to run it as a full kit, which is the way I run it, if you decide to run it as a full kit, you're gonna need to come in and take these off, and they just Velcro out. And if you don't, you're gonna remember it as soon as you start moving around, because those buckles are just gonna dig into you. And but don't throw these things away, because you might want to reconfigure this setup sometime and run it as just a plate carrier. But it's as simple as that. And I'll take the other one off. This is going to be a kind of a longer video because I'm going to try to get into the weeds on this. Now, this Testudo from AR500armor.com has got a tag hanging on it. That tag says Cordura, and that's what you want. You want genuine Cordura nylon on rigs. Some people try to get around it or whatever the case may be, but it's important. Cordura is tough stuff. If you wear out a piece of Cordura gear, you earned it. It's tough stuff. So also another thing is bar tacking. Now what I do with these is, just like with my gloves, I attach them together so I can lose them both at the same time. But the last thing I want is just one of them left. But all the stitching on these pieces to be mil-spec is called bar tack. And sorry, my phone keeps going off. I'll turn it off now. Please don't look at your phone. It's mine. It's funny when I say that video, people always post, yeah, I was going to look at my phone. But bar tacking, 1-inch bar tack, 1-inch wide webbing, 1.5 inches between bar tacks. This is the good stuff. The drag handle. If you just see a drag handle that's just sewn on right here, that thing's going to pull off. Rip! It's just going to come right off. If you notice, this drag handle comes down quite a bit, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 bar tacks, at least 10 bar tacks holding this thing on. You're coming out of it before this thing comes apart, I assure you. I just want to make sure I get all the points on this. And this is going to be like a cooking show, because I'm going to have this one. I'm going to move it out of the way and get one that's put together for you. Let's see. Something you may not appreciate are these shoulder pads. That big, thick, heavy shoulder pad, that matters. Oh my gosh, and these are so nice. And on the top of it, there are channels that you can run cords through, your Camelback, your communication cords, things like that. That's very helpful. This is available in black. Don't buy it black. Coyote, olive, and multicam. Any of those colors are fine. Anything that the military buys from now on is probably going to be tan for the foreseeable future. It'll take 10 by 12 or 11 by 14 plates, and I'm just going to just make sure I've got everything. It's got admin pockets, top and bottom. These are thin pockets for thin stuff like a map, something folded, something compact, nothing bulky or anything like that. Solid buckles. So this particular one is for medium and large body tops, not small and not extra large. You know, like if you wear extra large t-shirt, it's fine. In general, the rule for body armor is, let's say this was a size large, it would be for a size XL chest. You would buy body armor carriers one size less than your true shirt size. And that's a general rule, and I've been using that for 20 years, and it's held true. Typically the reason is people want them bigger to wear on top of cold weather clothing, but most of them are adjustable enough that should not matter. This one has built-in side pouches on the cummerbund, and so this is for armor for the sides right here. And if you don't use armor on the sides, which you don't have to, then you could also use this for a map pocket or something flat or small, because remember, it's going to be against you right here. You don't want something like a spare mag in there rubbing you raw or anything like that. Just making sure I got everything. Looks like I got all the stuff I wanted to touch on. So let's talk about the actual fitment. He put a lapel mic on me for this video because the camera's further away, and I need to put this on, but I'm not going to, because it'll just rub the microphone raw. So the top of this thing needs to be at the top of your sternal notch. So before you put armor in this thing, put it on top of the sternal notch, and the top of the plate in the back needs to be real high on your back as well. Both of them need to be high. What's going to happen when you especially if you don't adjust it right before, when you put it on, you're going to have all the mags and all the stuff on the front, and it's going to go like this. And I see guys all the time with the top of their plate here, exposing their heart, and I'm like, hey man, you need to adjust that up. So eventually, you're going to have to adjust it up. It's going to seem kind of awkward at first, but after you get the hang of it, it'll be fine. And so adjust it first, and you would adjust that via these straps. You would pull these things off the shoulder pad, and then now you have your adjustment. You can pull that through. Come on. Pull that through, and adjust it to whatever height you needed. This would hang over. I would caution you against cutting it off, because you might need to adjust it. You can roll this thing up and tape it off. It'll be completely out of your way. Don't worry about that. Most of these things come kind of just adjusted kind of in the middle, and most of them will kind of just work right out of the box, so to speak, for most of you guys. And some of you guys that already have armor, hopefully you're still picking up a few things about this as I move along. Sorry, this is just going to have to be a longer video, just simply because there's the points that I need to talk about are many. So put it on, you adjust it this way, then you need to adjust it this way, especially if you're using the full cummerbund. So you'll notice the cummerbund has like this corset thing in the back with elastic cord, and you would just slide this toggle down, and then you can make it bigger. Okay, it's pretty easy. In the back, when you put it in, make sure you put it in correctly, the correct side up. So in the back of the carrier is a channel that cummerbund slides through. It just slides through there, no big deal. And so I'm going to put it back in like this. And so what I do is I just kind of fold it, slide it through, and then it looks like that in the back, comes around to the front. That's not going to come open accidentally. That front panel comes up, then you put your cummerbund in there, boom, and then that is your carrier. Again, the side pockets are here if you want to use side armor, etc., etc. Now, inside of the contraption, You pull these off here. So you see these two straps that I just pulled out. Those will hold a plate up inside the carrier. And then if you look, if you can see it right here, there's another one, another cross, and it would hold the plate toward the front. And I'll talk about plates in just a second. So you would slide it in, I'll talk about the armor specifically in a minute. And then you slide it in between that belt right there on the, to the front side here. Then you would take this Velcro, and this is what kind of pulls the plate up into place. You put the Velcro, this whole wall's Velcro right here, jam that on, and it holds the plate nice and firm. It won't be sliding around in there or anything. That's an important part. It's an important thing, because if you get moving and that plate's jostling around, it'll just beat the shit out of you. And it takes so much more energy for you to move it like that. It's kind of like the difference between running on the wet packed sand right down by the shoreline or running through the loose sand further up the beach. The loose sand might seem like it's going to be better because it's soft, but it's so much harder to run in there. Well, that's what's happening is this: you're going to be fighting this momentum the whole time. And then the armor kits, as you order them, depending on what kit you order, it becomes a pouches. Most likely it'll come with malice clips, and basically you would put this malice clip face up, and if you ever need to unloosen this malice clip, you would take like a key, something round or something, not a knife blade, and put in there. That would push this tab up, and then you could pull this slotted piece out. But how it works is it goes in there and fastens like that. Let's talk about how that actually holds a pouch on now. So here's another one, a shorter one. Say for a pistol pouch, you would slide it through. Make sure you guys can see. And there it is, ready to accept the pouch. And then the pouch has webbing on the back, and then you would slide it through there. So it would go through the first part of webbing on the back of the magazine pouch, and then underneath like this. And so it wouldn't just be a loop where you could pull this thing out. It would be woven through these, and we'll hold it against very tightly. And so we'll talk about configuration of mag pouches and all that in just a second. Now I want to talk about the actual armor itself, and I'll set this aside and go to the armor you can get from AR-500. And it's I actually took this steel plate out of my personal rig. That's why the sticker sideways, because it's been used a bunch and it's kind of slid around. So there's soft armor, there's the lightweight armor, and this is pretty light, and then the steel armor. So these three things do three different things. And so let's talk about the big divide is between stuff that's for pistol only and stuff that's for rifles, okay? So soft armor is for pistol only. This is like what a police officer would wear under his police uniform, and it's flexible, it's pliable, it's a fabric, it's a Kevlar, it's a Spectra shield, it's a something, whatever, blah blah blah, and it works against most pistols. I mean, it would have to be some, super high velocity pistol. This thing will stop 44 Magnum at 1,430, I think, feet per second, and 357 SIG at 1,470 feet per second. That's smoking rounds. I mean, are there handgun rounds that'll go through it? Yeah, whatever. But I'd still rather have a handgun round that went through this that got slowed way down than one full speed. Soft armor. This is something, this would probably fit into a child's backpack or something like that. Soft armor has its place. Would I ever use it in conjunction with plates? Yeah, of course. There's some plates that, none that I know of from AR-500 armor, but some plates that are level X if used in conjunction with soft armor. So the soft armor is used to actually give them their full rating. As far as I know, all the plates I've remember seeing from AR-500 armor are called standalone plates, and they don't need it. But let's say if somebody was worried about it, could doubling up the armor help them? Yeah, I don't see why not. If you stood still long enough and let somebody shoot you enough times that rounds started piercing a piece of body armor, hard armor, would soft armor behind it help? Yes, but this is where we get into the weight, cost versus weight and stuff like that. So just plan accordingly. Now the side panels. The side panels in Iraq, I wore a rig that it had box cut armor that came around the sides, and sometimes the guys would be like, some of the guys would be like, mate, they're shooting rifles at us, not handguns. I go, yeah, but like so they shoot an AK at me, hits the steel of the car, turns sideways, and goes into this soft armor, it'll stop it. And so it's not, I didn't want to be shot, so so there's that. So soft armor, hard armor. Now people like, should I spend the extra money to get soft armor? So first, this comes with a warning: be careful buying sappy plates off the internet, or buying sappy plates anywhere. They have a ceramic sheet in them, and if that thing is cracked, that it is far less useful. How about that? It's far less useful. So what I would tell you is just stay away from sappy plates. If a sappy plate were dropped on concrete like that, it might completely ruin it. It might shatter that. Maybe, I don't know. But that's one of the reasons I like steel, is it's fucking durable. I can throw it around, throw it in my car, all kinds of stuff, and I don't have to worry about it. Then there's the other ones like this. This is a level 3, and this one is level 3 ASC. I don't know what that means, but both of them are a curved plate. This one's heavier, twice as heavy, probably. I would not be afraid to have this plate, use this plate. I've just been using the steel ones for so long, it's not a big deal to me. But when you're buying armor, it's kind of like buying a car. And so if you say, I want it to stop, we'll make up this. I want it to stop 7.62 by 51. I want it to stop 308. Well, the next question is, okay, there's a bunch of plates that do that. How much money do you want to spend? Because I can give you an old, whatever, I'm making this up, a trash can lid over here, it'll stop it for $5. Or I can give you this featherweight, cottony, pillow-like thing that'll stop it, for 10 grand. So you have to kind of decide what's in there for you, and be realistic. If you can't carry the weight, here's the thing, don't skip out. I know a lot of guys that don't wear armor so they can carry more mags. Don't be like that. Armor comes first. It is more important to not be shot than it is to shoot the bad guy. So if you're putting mags in front of armor, you've got problems. Buy the best armor that you can afford. It's just that simple. And AR-500 armor will have something for your budget. And I'm telling you, what I run in my gear, what my wife has, what my kids have, is steel. You do whatever you want to do. This is about all I can say about armor. And I know people, a lot of times they're like, oh, but it's heavy. I squat heavy 3 times a week so I can carry the stuff I need to carry. And when I get old, I just won't move as much, I guess. I'll just, I'll just get a Rascal or something. So this is a medical kit that comes from those guys at AR-500 Armor. And it's a nice little kit. It's got all kinds of bandagey things and gloves and tape and stuff like that in it. A pressure bandage, gauze, packing gauze, a chest seal, and quick clot, a clotting sponge. This is and scissors. This is a very complete kit. You can buy the kit with a pouch right on their website. And there are other people that make medical kits. We make a medical kit, but if you're looking for a one-stop shop, it's going to be hard to beat AR500armor.com, because those guys have taken a lot of time and effort to figure out what the best stuff was for you to use. And I'll just kind of set this stuff aside for right now and repack it later. But now, like on a cooking show, Hey, what do we have here? Now, I don't have my back plate in because I just had it out. See, I wasn't lying. This really is, this really is what I use. This armor here, and I'll just kind of shove it in here for a second so we can get on with this. And how you set your armor up is a very personal thing. And there are people who are going to watch this and go, what the hell's wrong with you? And blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to tell you what I do. Okay. So we'll start all the way over here. This is a Blue Force Gear Marco. And so basically it's got little chem lights in it. I can bring that chem light out, push it down or pick it up to right where it's at, break it, then pull that thing out and mark something with it. Now I'm trying to reload it. I'll do that later. Inside the pouch, I've got some Trijicon thermal, and I know that's expensive stuff, I know, but you guys want to know what my setup is. I got thermal there that I can clip to a gun if needed. A couple of pouches for smokes. This is a SOE tear-off med kit. Great kit. Scissors and all that stuff, and cat tourniquet and all that stuff there. I got 3 direct action mag pouches from SOE on here. Great thing about them, they can carry like 3 AR mags, they can carry 2 AK mags, they can carry 2 308 mags. So they're very versatile magazines for whatever is going on in the world. There's a I think this is Mil-Spec Monkey Tactical Tailor. Yeah, Mil-Spec Monkey admin pouch with admin stuff, little flashlight, pliers, notepad, you know, little stuff like that. Siloom sticks, a Mil-Spec Monkey face mask, dust mask, because, and sometimes it just gets cold. Up front you see a mic, and then a Rescue Me for popping windows. See a couple of black safety pins. If you, those are the ones out of guys in the military, the bandoliers, you'll know those are familiar. But if you ever pull the pin out of a grenade or a flashbang or something like that, it won't go back in if you decide not to use it. So having a couple of safety pins, you can put the safety pin through and clip it, and so that thing is rendered safe there for you. And then on the back is the radio, and people ask me all the time, they ask me all the time, do you like that radio on the back? It's on there, isn't it? I don't understand why I wouldn't like it. Like, why I would have it on the back if I didn't like it there. I don't get it. It's a Yaesu radio. Back here, I've got a Shimag and some other gloves and other things. And basically, this stuff wouldn't be in here when I'm using it. I'd have the Shimag around my neck, the gloves on, et cetera, et cetera. And so this could be used for administrative stuff or whatever the case may be. And so that is kind of the long and short of body armor for a Minuteman. So you need stuff, and you're going to decide what that stuff is for you. But you got to have mags, you got to have armor, mags, and a medical kit as the absolute minimum. The absolute minimum. Arms, you got to have mags, armor first, mags, and a medical kit. Absolutely that. And you can go over to AR500 Armor anytime. They got great prices on carriers and stuff like that, and I highly recommend their stuff. I can afford anything I want, and I use the stuff I am showing you right now from one of my channel sponsors. I can get anything I want in the world. I can have people custom make me stuff. What I use, if you've ever seen me, pictures or video of me in a contractor class or whatever, this is my rig. This is what I use. This is it. This is James Yeager for Tactical Response, reminding you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight, and it's coming, never ends.